Sterling Academy was the school for the wealthy, the privileged, and some would say, the elite. But on this day, all eyes were on one moment. The school's most feared bully had finally picked the wrong person, a black girl who wasn't backing down. Just as she was pushing him away, waiting for him to step back, something shocking and explosive took place.
Stay tuned.
Zara Tate had just turned the corner of the hallway, not thinking about any drama. AP Calculus was in 5 minutes, and a test was waiting for her. But the universe had other plans. Blocking her path, standing like a villain in a bad movie, was Deck Allen Wheeler. At 6 feet 1 inch, with blonde hair and a linebacker build, he oozed arrogance. He was famous for his wealth, his connections, and his tendency to look down on everyone. Today, Zara was his target. Before Deck could say a word, Zara already had a gut feeling of what was coming. Okay, Deck said, leaning casually against the lockers, a sly grin on his face. His voice was laced with mockery. Looks like someone's lost. You sure you're in the right place, Zara? A few students paused, some slowed their walk, but no one said anything. The unspoken rule at Sterling Academy was clear. If Deck was going after someone, you didn't interfere. Zara tightened her grip on her backpack strap. She didn't have time for this nonsense. She had been ignoring Deck's taunts for months, thinking his words didn't get to her. But today was different. With a deep breath, she looked at him and spoke firmly.
Move, Deck.
I don't have time for your crap today. It was the last thing Deck wanted to hear. His grin widened, and his eyes glinted with amusement. Wow, that's how you talk to me? He sneered, taking a step toward her and looking down with disdain. You don't belong here, Tate. This school isn't for someone like you. As if to reinforce his words, Deck shoved Zara aside. She stumbled but regained her balance. The move was a clear challenge, a warning, and a huge mistake. The crowd around them held their breath. Phones were pulled out. This wasn't just bullying anymore. It was a spectacle. Zara lifted her gaze to meet Deck's eyes. You really don't want to do this, she said, her voice unnervingly calm. Deck laughed, mocking her. What, you gonna run and complain to the teacher? Come on, little girl. This isn't your place. Then, with a snarl, he shoved her harder. The crowd tensed, the air charged with anticipation. Zara shrugged, exhaled slowly, and responded simply, Okay, you asked for it. Without missing a beat, Zara dropped her backpack. In a single, fluid motion, she twisted Deck's arm and threw him over her shoulder. Deck hit the floor with a resounding crash, the sound echoing down the hallway, instantly silencing the crowd. For the first time in his life, Deck Allen Wheeler was no longer the king of Sterling Academy. His pride was shattered as he lay flat on his back, staring up at the ceiling in shock. A stunned silence followed. Then, "Oh my God," someone screamed. The crowd erupted into cheers, laughter, and applause. Zara picked up her bag, stepping over Deck like he was nothing more than an inconvenience. I told you so, she said, still calm and composed. The students went wild. Phones were recording, high fives were exchanged, and someone shouted, "World star." Deck groaned on the floor, his face flushed red with anger, his fists clenched. This wasn't over, at least not for him. By lunchtime, the entire school was buzzing. Zara's takedown of Deck had gone viral. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. The rich kid at an elite school had been destroyed by a black girl. The video spread like wildfire, and suddenly, everyone was talking about Zara. Even students who had never spoken to her before wanted to know how she pulled it off. But not everyone was happy. Deck was furious, humiliated, burning with the need for revenge. By the next morning, the school was obsessed with the incident. The video was everywhere, and Deck's once feared reputation was now an internet meme. His empire of fear and respect had crumbled to nothing. There was only one thing Deck could do: make Zara Tate regret it. Zara was determined to make Deck pay for embarrassing her. And Deck, he thought maybe she could feel the stares, the whispers around her. People were both admiring and fearing her. That morning, Deck and his crew were silent as they watched her from a distance, but Zara didn't notice. She was too busy high-fiving and answering endless questions about her martial arts skills. At noon, Zara got a text from an unknown number. Meet me in the gym after school.
No cameras.
Let's finish this. Zara didn't hesitate. She wasn't afraid, but maybe she should have been. The Sterling Academy gym was imposing, with high ceilings, polished floors, and championship banners hanging above. By 4:15 p.m., the gym seemed empty, or so Zara thought. She slipped in, her sneakers making no sound on the floor. When the door slammed shut behind her, she felt it. She wasn't alone. It was a mistake coming here, Tate. Dean's voice echoed from the shadows. Zara turned, and there he was, with Hunter, Mason, and Tyler, his loyal henchmen, towering and ready. 4 against 1, huh?
Zara said dryly.
You must really be scared of me. Dean's face tightened, his anger bubbling. Shut up, he growled, taking a step forward. It's not fear, he snarled. It's respect. Zara crossed her arms. You mean revenge? No, Dean said, smirking. Making sure you know your place. Zara's stomach tightened. She'd heard those words before from people like Dean who thought they owned places they didn't deserve. She took a deep breath, letting her anger simmer down. Focus. Dean struck first. Wild, uncontrolled punches. Zara gracefully sidestepped, barely breaking a sweat. Amateur, she thought, just as Mason lunged. Zara ducked and flipped him, lifting his legs off the ground as Mason hit the floor with a thud. Tyler tried to grab her from behind, but she elbowed him hard in the ribs. Tyler staggered back, breathless. Hunter moved next, but Zara was faster. She spun, kicking him square in the chest, sending him flying to the ground. All 3 of them were down. Furious, Dean charged, throwing punches like a maniac. Zara dodged everyone. Then, with lightning speed, a kick to Dean's stomach left him winded. He stumbled backward, gasping for air. Zara seized the opportunity, grabbing him by the collar and slamming him to the gym floor. And just like that, it was over.